Welcome, everybody, to The Edge's Facebook's #1 show at this particular time. 3 to 5 things we didn't have time to talk about today. I am your host, Fred Kennedy, and I would like to thank our sponsor, Train Like Heroes at 400 Monarch Avenue in Ajax, Durham region. It's a great place. Listen, I got to switch chairs, Matt. This chair, it is warm. I can't sit.
It's hot out today.
It's hot out today. That's better. You're a very warm-blooded man. That chair was warm, Matthew. Moving on. It's like he was just working out at Train Like Heroes, because they make you work out so hard that you get sweaty and warm, which is why I go there, because they're very good at motivating me. I have a problem with my head going too crazy upstairs, and when I go and I work out there, I find that the volume on the rest of the world gets turned down. I use that analogy all the time because it's the most apt. I just feel good about myself and the world when I leave there. It's Train Like Heroes, 400 Monarch Avenue. Go in, tell I say hello. My buddy Val went. He's loving it there. So let's move on. Okay? First up, Donald Trump and his grandfather. Now, I'm not going to trash Donald Trump and his political policies. I don't need to do that because you just read what he's doing and it speaks for himself. I want to talk about people now taking attacks at his grandfather. Now, here's the thing. His grandfather came to the United States, was in New York, he was working as a barber, realized all the money that he could be made if he went up north into the Yukon during the Yukon Gold Rush. And that's what he did. He opened up a hotel. It was also a brothel. And he sold food, and people had sexual relations in there. And now everybody's mad about it. They're not really mad about it anymore. They don't really care. But what's happening is the Canadian government, along with Native Reserve up there, are teaming up together to open up a historic recreation of the hotel. It won't be a brothel that we know of. Maybe. You never know. It might be. What's interesting, I am curious to see whether this new Trump hotel will sell marijuana. That's something that I'm very keen to find out about because it'll be legal by the time it's open. So I'm wondering if all kinds of Trump fans are going to go there or all kinds of people that dislike Trump are going to go there. Regardless, if you want to go, you're more than welcome. Now, that's the thing. The Yukon Gold Rush was a pretty awful time. I was actually reading stories about how during the Yukon Gold Rush, prospectors would shave their entire body and then put on clothes, go out, and then their body hair would legitimately grow through those clothes because they never changed, they never showered or anything the entire time that they were out there during the winter. And then they would have to literally peel the clothes off their body. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that gross? Think about that the next time you're sitting on a streetcar and a guy beside you has a little bit of BO. Someone's feeling a little bit not too fresh down there. Just think about how bad it used to be. I actually think about that a lot. I always think about how, imagine how stinky brothels must have been back in the 1800s. Every love song written about people before, 1999 was about somebody with a lot of body hair. A lot of pubes, a lot of BO, a lot of not freshness. But people back then were having, 13 kids. They were just going at it like rabbits. Even though everyone stunk. Listen, if I haven't showered, my wife won't have sex with me. She's very adamant about, go take a shower before we do anything, all right? Seriously, if I had showered the day before and then was outside working in the yard both days, it's not happening. But back in the old days, that's just what people did. Which makes me wonder, did people have terrible senses of smell back then? Did we? Really makes me wonder. And here's another thing for those of you crapping all over Donald Trump's grandfather for opening a hotel and a brothel. Ever seen the movie Tombstone? Which, by the way, is absolutely amazing. But Wyatt Earp, the good guy, Kurt Russell, with his amazing mustache in that movie, he's working at a brothel, dealing cards. He's peddling gambling and prostitution, and he's the good guy in the movie. It's really great. Val Kilmer is amazing as Doc Holliday, by the way. I can be your Huckleberry. So good. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like someone just walked over your grave. If you haven't seen the movie, these lines... Madison, I know that you haven't seen the movie. You're sitting there looking confused and annoyed. Tombstone is a great movie. You should watch it. It's got like a montage and everything. They don't have enough montages in movies these days. Anyways, humanity's about to go extinct. Why? We're losing ground to jellyfish. There's a story that I was reading about a power plant in Israel. A water intake valve is getting clogged because jellyfish are getting in there and clogging it up. A jellyfish is going to lead to a nuclear disaster in the Middle East. They need the water to cool the plant, okay? They can't keep the jellyfish out of there. They're not going to be able to cool the plant. Plant's going to, it's going to go. Millions of people are going to die. It's terrible. Now, why are we losing ground to jellyfish? They're reproducing in numbers we can't keep up because we're screwing with the ocean's ecosystem, man. Here's the thing about jellyfish. Jellyfish are survivors. They're survivors, and we're messing with the food chain. Sharks, barracudas. Look at all the teeth in that barracuda's meme. By the way, when I was actually in Mexico, they actually have like flags where they'll put up a flag being like, get out of the water, guys. There's barracudas in the water. You don't want to be in there. And one time, me and my cousin, we bought marijuana off of like one of the beach peddlers, the guys that go along the beach. Hey, you want to buy things? And they're not supposed to be there. We bought weed off of the guy. And then we rolled the doobie, put it in a Ziploc bag, and we swam out to one of the tidal breaks. And then we sat on the tidal break like 100 meters from shore, just smoking a joint. It was awesome. And then we're sitting out there, we're super blasted, smoked like the whole doobie by ourselves. And we look back, the guy raises the flag to get out of the water. We got to swim all the way back through the water. I'm telling you, you want to be like anxious on weed? Try swimming through water where they say there's barracudas in there. Look at the teeth in that thing. Imagine that thing grabbing my junk. I wouldn't have my kids that sometimes annoy me. I wouldn't have them. If it wasn't. Anyways, we're getting off topic here. Let's focus on the important issues, okay? So the oceans are being really polluted. Look at that, it's so terrible. Like junk and garbage and all that stuff being in the water. We're killing off all the top predators. We killed more sharks already this year than we did last year. For the whole year. It's insane the amount of stuff that we're killing in the water. And that is screwing with the food chain. And the thing is jellyfish are one of those all kinds of things eat them kind of animal. And now they're just breeding too many. Jellyfish are insane. Think about video games. Whenever you play video games, whenever you're in the water and there's jellyfish, the jellyfish just electrocutes you and you die. That's what jellyfish do. They're terrible. Watch Finding Nemo again. Remember that scene, Finding Nemo? That was scary. And then he comes back in, I'm going to get you, Dory. And he comes back out, I'm stung, I'm falling asleep. Wakes up on the turtle. Life doesn't have happy endings when jellyfish get into the nuclear power plant water intake and we all die. We're losing to an animal that doesn't even have a brain. But I have a solution. Here's what we need to do. What we need to do is we need to create some sort of campaign where we convince people that eating jellyfish will make their dongs bigger. Because if guys think that they can do anything to get bigger wieners, they will do it. Just plant that story, a fake scientific story saying that jellyfish increases the size of dudes' boners and cures baldness. And guys will go ape for it. They will be killing so many goddamn jellyfish, it'll never be a problem. We'll completely restore the balance of the horribly imbalanced, overpolluted, acidified ocean. But seriously, in all seriousness, don't throw plastic into the water. Reduce the amount of plastic you're using. Recycle. Okay? Try and shop used. Buy used things so that there's less packaging. The majority of human garbage is packaging for things. I don't know if you knew about that. 3/4 of human waste is just packaging. So if you buy used goods, there's no packaging. Get on that. Jellyfish. Make your dongs bigger. I heard that on the internet the other day. It's pretty amazing. All right, now we all know that I love Kim Kardashian. I do. I can't help it. My buddy Danny Zabel, by the way, who does an amazing comic book with Chapter House, Life, Death, and Sorcery. It's a fantastic story, and he's a fantastic comic book artist and a great writer. And he also... I don't know if he's going to be okay with me talking about this. He also is the lead designer on the Kim Kardashian mobile game. He's the lead designer on that game. And he tells me that Kim Kardashian is probably the most humble, down-to-earth person that he's ever had to work with. And he was very hesitant about taking that gig. And he goes, I work with like first-year programming students that are bigger bags of dicks than she will ever be. Which makes me okay. Now, Kim Kardashian learned a wonderful lesson about the world of parenting earlier today. She posted this photo of one of her kids sitting in their car seat. By the way, great. Look at that Paw Patrol cup. Chase and whatever the Ryder Ryder's such a douche. Hey, pups, come to the tower and do whatever I tell you to do. Chase is on the case. These paws uphold the laws. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm watching Paw Patrol. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are watching Paw Patrol. We're pretty much the same people. We're pretty much the same people watching Paw Patrol. But she posted this photograph on the internet, and all of a sudden, the mom squads of the world got all mad because, Kim, you're supposed to be turning that car seat around for the safety of the child. Now, here's an amazing thing that happens when you become a parent. You realize quickly that all parents think they're better at parenting than you. All of them. All of them. Dude, I posted a picture of my kid in a car seat when we were on our way to Ottawa a few years ago and we were singing songs. What was the first comment? The buckle on your seatbelt should really be higher. See the little snap there? Some woman's first complaint was pull the buckle up higher to protect the child. All parents think they're better at parenting than you. And I'm going to make a statement that's going to get me in a little trouble. It's usually women. They're the ones that get really mad about that stuff. I'm sorry. I'm just saying I have never had a dad say anything like that to me before. Because dads are all of the opinion, well, only the strong will survive. That's the way dads react with their kids. Yeah, they'll figure it out. Okay, I'm telling you, go to a play place, an indoor play place, and you can always tell which kids are there with their dads. The animal kids are there with their dads. Because I let my kids act like animals in there too. I let my kid, okay, this kind of upset me because we were at a play place, Endless Fun, in Ajax, by the way. We were at Endless Fun, and there was these two kids, and they were kind of like almost picking on my son. But my son didn't care. He was having fun and laughing and rolling around and playing. It still kind of drove me crazy. And when we left, I sat him down, I'm like, those kids were being mean to you, okay? You get in there. You don't let that happen again. When kids are throwing things at you, you don't laugh. You don't laugh it off. You get mad, and you make them stop. You tell them to stop doing it. It's not nice. He's like, oh, it's just having fun. When I told my wife about that, she said, so you saw people throwing things at our son and you didn't get involved? And I went, well, no, I can't. I can't be in there fighting his battles for him. Kid's got to learn to grow a backbone and stand up for himself. You know? That's the dad mentality. That's the difference. I see Kim Kardashian and her kid in the seat. I think, oh my God, a Paw Patrol cup. That's what I see. But that's the thing. Like, and these are the same parents, by the way, when they see kids that are playing at the playground by themselves, who could be like 10 or 11 years old, they're the ones that call child services. Like, that stuff has got to stop. It's got to stop. The thing is, if you get invested by child services, that's on your record forever. I said this before. It doesn't go away. We got to stop. And it's not a modern thing. This isn't like, oh, it's the only parents today, these new parents, they don't know what they're doing. No, mothers have always thought they know better about how to mother children than every other mother. It's just something that has always happened from time immemorial. I can remember this. I think it's worse today, though, because like when I was a kid, I was 3 at the playground by myself with my sister who was 5. We walked down the street, went to the playground. I remember one time, true story, the last time I pooped my pants, I was 3, and I was playing in the backyard, and I couldn't open the screen door, and my dad was asleep on the couch inside. I couldn't open the screen door, and I pooped my pants because I couldn't get inside. True story. That wouldn't happen nowadays. The child services would get called, oh, sir, we've got a report your son pooped his pants. Were you napping on the couch because you were drunk from the night before? Yeah, I was. Well, we're going to have to take your kids away. That's the way that would go down now. Back then it was like, yeah, Benny, I had to sleep one off before, too. It's all good. Change your kid's underwear, give him a bath. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Moving on. But this is nothing new. This is nothing new because I can remember this being in the first grade. I was home from school. I was homesick from school. And my mom was folding laundry. I remember everything about this because I was smelling the laundry because it smelled like bounce sheets. And I loved the smell of fabric softener when I was a little kid. So in the first grade, I was home from school. Phil Donahue was on TV. He looks so old nowadays. Phil Donahue, by the way, Oprah Winfrey is super famous and all that. She basically does the same show Phil Donahue did. And then Phil Donahue was kind of crazy, though. But the show had all these grown-ups yelling at each other. And I remember looking at my mom going, Mom, what are they yelling about? Why is everybody so angry right now? And she goes, well, one group of people up there think they're better parents than the others. And that's why are they fighting? That's life. That's life, Kim. Paw Patrol, great show, by the way. Made right here in Toronto. Moving on. Let's talk about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is apparently leading up to one of the most anticipated scenes ever. the Clegane Bowl. That's right. We're going to have the Mountain fight the Hound. And I just want to point out how many different actors have played the Mountain throughout the seasons. 3. I remember this guy's name is Conan something. This guy only was in 2 episodes. And then we've got the guy now known as the Mountain. What's his face? The guy from Iceland. What?
He's Norwegian? Or?
No, he's not. He's from Iceland. He's from Iceland. I just said he's from. Thank you, Matthew, and I'm sorry for being rude. Thank you for trying, but you were wrong. He's not from Norway, you idiot. That was legitimately mean sounding. I'm in character here, everybody. Just wanted to let you know I'm kind of in character. Anyways, that guy, his name was Conan, and he's Scottish, and he was the what?
No one can see you pointing.
Oh, the first guy on the left. His name was Conan, and he's Scottish. He's a Scottish actor, and he actually left Game of Thrones to be on the Spartacus TV show, and then they tried to get him to come back, but he had already signed on to do the Hobbit movies. He played that orc guy who was unkillable. Bolg was his name. Bolg. I don't remember. The Hobbit movies were
the White Orc.
Yeah, those movies were such garbage. We get it. Oh, look, here's another slow motion scene where all the dwarves are going like, "Ooh, Thorin. Ooh, slow motion with emotional music. Ooh, so bad. Oh, it's like King Kong. Peter Jackson's King Kong. We get it, Peter. She loves the monkey. She loves it. Ugh. Anyways, I still love the original Mountain more than even, what's-his-face, the guy who plays him now. Because he was psychotic. Remember in the very first season when Sandor Clegane and in the Mountain they have the ting, right after the big, the jousting thing, and Robert Baratheon's like, "Hey, on your knees, kneel, blah, 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 blah." So Sandor Clegane, the Hound, is allegedly going to be fighting his brother this season of Game of Thrones. It looks absolutely amazing. And here's the thing. Now we can really root for the Hound because he's had his big reawakening. Remember when he met, what's his name, Dondarrion? Beric Dondarrion? Yeah, Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr, and he met them in the woods. And then he's like, "There's a reason you're still alive. You got to come with us going north." I'm telling you, the Hound versus the Mountain zombie, if you will, that's going to be a good one. Wouldn't it be amazing to see the Hound with his old Hound helmet and a flaming sword fighting his zombie brother? Buddy, that's good TV. I'd be watching that for sure. It's All Gone Pete Tong. By the way, the guy from It's All Gone Pete Tong plays Thoros of Myr. Very cool. Great movie. Great movie. You know what makes it so good? It's so good because, first of all, you got Dean and Todd. Not Dean and Todd. Dean and Terry from Fubar in there as the German metal musicians. They're laughing at us in Austria. They're laughing at us. It's great. Great movie. Watch It's All Gone Pete Tong. It's one of the best movies you'll ever watch. I swear to you. Moving on, though. Sleeping. Canada is about to conduct what could be the largest sleep study in the history of humanity. Basically, a lot of people are constantly complaining that they can't sleep very good. I have a feeling that Wi-Fi and all the electronic signals and stuff going around is definitely playing a role in that. But that's just based on things that I've read, okay, on the internet. I'm not a scientist. I don't know everything. Let the scientists decide. Let the scientists figure out everything. And by the way, great job finding women of color to represent the scientists. Great job, Matthew. Great job. POCs. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let the scientists figure all that stuff out. I'm telling you that it's got to be all the electronic signals and all that stuff, and we're over-informed all the time. You know why? Because our lives aren't that bad. None of our lives are that bad. Do you think we got it worse than cavemen? Hey, when's the last time you went to bed and were worried about a saber-toothed tiger eating you in your sleep? Never. Because we killed them all. Cavemen killed them all. They had legitimate worries. They slept in caves. What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't know, try and make a fire? That was their goal. Eat some nuts and some dirt and build a fire. That's my day. That's a great life. Maybe I am making a good case for why we are more stressed out. But seriously, I've never been afraid about being eaten. What about people in the Middle Ages? Life sucked then, too. Everyone was dirty, diseased. We already talked about the pubes and stuff and everyone stinking. Imagine how bad junk smelled back in the Middle Ages. I bet a dude's wiener in the Middle Ages was the stinkiest wiener ever. Wieners have never been stinkier than they were in the Middle Ages. They didn't even have... Soap wasn't even invented then. What are you going to do, soak in a river with algae? Then your junk's just going to smell like a stinky pond. So you either stink like B.O. or stink like a pond. Can't even have pleasure from sexual relations in the Middle Ages because everyone stunk so bad. They had sleep problems. They deserved a sleep study. Mind you, if you could read in a different language, they'd probably say you were a witch and burn you alive and take out all your teeth or something. Gross teeth, stinky junk, lots of pubes, no soap. They had problems. We don't. Take a nap. I've got some city and color tickets, by the way. 416 at 70 Edge. Connor, first person to say soap. You're going to win. You got soap. Good. We done? We're done? Done? All right.